Okay, good morning, Regan, and anybody else lucky enough to be watching this fantastic video on how to answer IGCSE Language Paper 2, Question 2. If you go on YouTube, you will find lots of videos on this. It's a thoroughly spoken about topic because paper 2 question 2 is arguably the hardest question that you have to answer because it requires an awareness. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. It requires an awareness of the ways in which writers achieve their effects. So if you remember from last week, you did that Great Gatsby piece and you had to look for similes and metaphors and onomatopoeia and alliteration. So your job in the paper 2 question 2 is to firstly identify effective writing, figures of speech, not necessarily figures of speech, but that's what's going to help you to find effective writing, effective imagery. And once you've identified those, to then be able to explain why the writer has chosen those words in particular, how that phrasing puts across particular emotions, senses, whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's work through this lesson together. Hopefully you read all of that. Okay, so obviously the first thing you do is you read your passage again. Now, I'm sure you've done so. You can see in the question that it is going to direct you to 2 paragraphs. So, reread the descriptions of Nick's fear of crocodiles in paragraph 3 and the swamp in paragraph 5. You are looking for 4 words or phrases from paragraph 3 that you think are effective, and 4 words or phrases from paragraph 5 that you think are effective. So what I did for you in this one is I did this part for you. So here is paragraph 3. Let's check. La 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 la. La, la, la. It sounded distinctly possible. Always make sure you're in the right paragraph. So it sounded distinctly possible that we'd come across a considerably larger croc than I'd seen in the pen. Hearing Jack pointed out in such a casual manner made my blood run cold. Can you hear how that is just an effective way of writing? Can blood actually run cold? No. Therefore, the writer is being figurative. He's being metaphorical. He's not writing something that is literal. He doesn't say, Jack pointed it out and I was scared. He says, my blood ran or made my blood run cold. There's also something quite interesting there because crocodiles are cold-blooded animals. So can you see what the writer is doing there? He's sort of bringing out this idea of this reptilian fear. Okay, he goes on to say, the nightmarish scene. Is he actually having a nightmare? No, but it feels like he's having a nightmare. So he describes the scene as though it was a nightmare. Again, this is what we refer to as figurative language. An image. He's creating an image. The nightmarish scene was not difficult to imagine. Our monstrous aggressor would gobble us up with a sudden snap of its gigantic jaws. All right, let's talk about the sounds there. Sudden snap, alliteration of the S sound or sibilance. It's also almost onomatopoeic. It sounds like the snap of the jaws. Gigantic jaws, there's repetition of the J sound in gigantic jaws. So again, another example of alliteration. The term monstrous aggressor gives us a very clear image of this huge, scary crocodile. And use the boat splinters as giant wooden toothpicks. Again, giving us an image. Of course, the crocodile won't actually take the parts of the boat that it has broken and pick its teeth. So anytime you see words or phrases that are not literal. That is when the writer is being metaphorical. Okay, hope you got all of that. Right. So, then you're going to answer the question. La, la, la. All right, if we have a look, what have I got, Cham? Here we go. If we have a look at the mark scheme, you can see that these are all of the things that we picked up when we read the paragraph. Now, if you simply identify the correct word and phrase, you can get 5 out of 10 for this question. However, if you want to do really well and get that 10 out of 10, you also have to give a sense of analysis. So, blood run cold, freezing, shivering, the suddenness, the intensity, the terror, the comparison to the crocodile. Nightmarish scene, it's like a bad dream. It has a sense of being unreal. The connotation of the night terrors you experience as a child. Sudden fear, regret. Monstrous aggressor, the crocodile is huge, unspecified creature of the imagination. Okay, I think you get the idea. So, as I've said, if you simply identify 4 words or phrases, you will still pass this question. But if you want to do really well, you have to say why those words and phrases are, I don't know, effective, how they create emotion, why the writer has chosen to say blood run cold rather than I was scared, nightmarish scene rather than it was scary. Can you see what I mean? All right, so if we go then to the example that I wrote for you, you can see that the 4 words and phrases I chose to use were nightmarish scene, monstrous aggressor, sudden snap, and gigantic jaws. I just found that those were the easiest ones to analyze, but you could choose any 4. So let's read. So I've said, now I've got my ideas, I've got my quotes that I want to use, right? I've got an idea of what I want to say. So now I just put them together in a paragraph. So the overall effect of paragraph 3 is humorous because Nick's fears come across as exaggerated and childish, leaving them no hope at all if a crocodile should attack. The event is described as a nightmarish scene, which makes it seem like a bad dream and stresses Nick's childish fears. Now, I didn't make that up. I got it from there. Right? Nick's main fear is the crocodile itself, which he describes as a monstrous aggressor. This makes the crocodile seem huge beyond imagining, like some sort of mythical beast, which ties in with the nightmare imagery. Again, didn't make it up. There it is. And this is all you're going to do this time, you know. He uses the alliterative and onomatopoeic phrase. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have used such big words there. You could just say he uses alliteration in the phrase sudden snap to stress the speed and decisiveness of the imagined crocodile attack and to create an image of the movement and sound of the crocodile's jaws. He compounds this phrase with further alliteration in gigantic jaws, again exaggerating the sheer size of the crocodile and his tininess in comparison. Okay, so now your job is to do to do part B rather, from paragraph. Yeah, maybe I didn't lay the lesson out very well. Maybe that's the problem. So I just want you to do part B. You know, I want you to read through. Let's find the thing. Oh, did I not do the highlighting? No. All right, so you're going to go through your PDF. You're going to find paragraph 5. Where does it start? Paragraph 5, starting, we glided along for some time. Here it is. So you're going to look through this paragraph. You're going to look for 4 powerful words or phrases. Now, don't stress because I've given them to you. Here they are. So, I mean, there's nothing really. I just want you to get into the methodology of how to do it. So, you're going to read over this paragraph, find 4 words or phrases that you think are powerful, see if they appear on here, and using the mark scheme, write a response like that. Okay, once you've written your response, you can then have a look at the table and see, where you think you should fall. But that part's not important. I really just want to know if you can do this. Okay, Regan, I hope that helps you. I hope that clarifies things a little bit for you. And let me know if you're still stuck. All right, good luck. Cheers.